All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Ryan Tannehill and the visiting Miami Dolphins. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. Now a play fake here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Play.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds Parker here, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. First foray into the red zone for Miami. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. The pitch out to Drake. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road, you're under the lights, national television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch. But underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46.
Richmond. Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out come the Dolphins now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 points?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now it's Ellington to return. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
In some phases of life, that's what's known as the quick response team. Down 3, they come right back with a big return. They want to at least tie this game up.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 45 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Here's Watson, flushed out right. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys?
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. So now here come the Dolphins. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Tannehill on first down. Shakes off the sack, and escapes the sack. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He gets away from one. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Yeah, and that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Ellington. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Here's a give to Miller. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Tannehill. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw, Tannehill. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tannehill now to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Black, come back, come back. Tiger.
On 1st down, Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Stephon Anthony coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
From the red zone now, Watson escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. as his guys are in for 6, and the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. That one goes for 24 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now it's Tannehill. Forced out to his left. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. To throw is Tannehill. He's going to fire one deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Tannehill hands to Drake. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now the rookie from Arizona State, it's Kalen Ballage. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Tannehill dancing to his left. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Run. 50. Lock. No.
And now a sneak, Tannehill. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Ryan Tannehill, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Play action from Miller. Now Watson buying time to his left. And this one is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. Going deep for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Hopkins, strong running. The 20, 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Richmond.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Here's Tannehill. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. On 1st down, Drake. And he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down.
And that's the way to start a drive, and that's the way to continue a drive. Back-to-back, nice chunk plays. And if you're the offensive coordinator in your chess match with the defensive guy, you're thinking maybe you put him in a spot where he's got to load up against the run because that last one was a really nice play. What are you going to do now? Do you go ahead and play into it, continue to run the ball, play action, try and hit him over the top? You've got to feel like you have the advantage.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. On first and goal, Drake. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's go.
They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are in for 6. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime, and to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half, the same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well. Can someone come up with something to slow them down?
Yeah, both defenses back on their heels. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big-time play there for the Texans. 44 yards. On first down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need something special here on third and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Richmond.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10. Play action. It's Tannehill. Steps away to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
And here comes the Texans now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The final shot before the break, Watson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
On second down, here's Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Tannehill finding Stills, and it's a Dolphin first down. On first and 10, Tannehill. Flush to his right. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now it's Ellington to return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Watson now to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
Target. To the jet. Target.
Now a first down throw. Watson going deep for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this is back to a 5-point game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for Miami. 44 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Being chased out, looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Richmond.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
Come back.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down.
Tiger. Richmond. Tiger.
Watson on 1st down. And a catch made by Hopkins. And all the way down to the 29. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 43 yards. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans are in for 6. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he will not make it to the goal line here. So they'll be unable to bump this lead up to a field goal as it remains a 1-point game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, complete. It's Grant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27. Tannehill now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback here. Right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Richmond. Reset. Tiger. Come back. Richmond.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Tiger. Richmond. Come back. Tiger.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony with a pick. But he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
On the toss play, this is Drake. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
20.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Reset.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Richmond, Richmond. Tiger, Tiger, Tiger.
On first down, Watson. Looking deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
Throwing again is Watson. Escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Third and long, it's Watson. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started. Every penalty is now they've got it third and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. Third time tonight he's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now on first down, Drake again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the 50, it's Tannehill. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Dolphins on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
50-50.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Again, it's Miller. They find some open field here. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Richmond. Come back. Down. Green the line. Do jet.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Tiger. Come back. Reset. Tiger. Come back.
Watson on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Tiger.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. His throw incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller, and it'll bring up third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Texans on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. A deep ball for Ellington. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Play.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
50-50.
3rd and long. It's Tannehill. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with the
ampersand?
I like it.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. The return man is Grant. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Off play action, Tannehill. Dancing to his left. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Watson. Caught. It's Ellington. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Richmond.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Ellington has it, middle of the field. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Going for the deep ball. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Now it's Tannehill. Going deep here for Stick. And got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. A gain of 39 that time. Drake off the give from Tannehill. And he's got some space here. And that's a touchdown as they
know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. It's complete to Fuller. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? He's back to throw. He's gonna let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
They'll look to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. One last throw here for Watson. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.